Since we have you here, we haven't had a chance to kind of talk about some of the...
I'm not speaking about anything that's off topic. This is only about the president.
Well, what about...
Thank you.
All right, so Congressman Michael Grimm does not want to talk about some of the allegations concerning his campaign finances. We wanted to get him on camera on that, but he, as you saw, refused to talk about that. Back to you. Why?
Let me be clear to you. You have to do that to me again in 3 minutes.
I just wanted to ask you.
You're not man. You're not man.
Isn't that special? That was former Congressman Michael Grimm. Back in 2014, you may remember that was him threatening a reporter after the reporter actually asked him about an investigation into his campaign finances. He eventually decided not to throw the reporter off a balcony, and also he decided to give up his House seat after pleading guilty to tax fraud in 2015, and he served 7 months in prison. Now, he may be headed back to Congress with the help of former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon. Bannon has actually endorsed Grimm for New York's 11th district, a seat currently occupied by Republican Dan Donovan. Grimm met with Bannon in his Washington, D.C. home on Wednesday, and after the meeting, Grimm posted on Twitter a picture of himself and Steve Bannon writing, quote, "Game on." Steve Bannon, of course, no stranger to the midterm battleground races after backing Alabama primary winner, former Judge Roy Moore. I say former, he's former judge twice because he was kicked out of the judiciary in Alabama 2 times. And now with Steve Bannon trying to actually get somebody that's been imprisoned in this race for Staten Island. Mike Barnacle, so I guess this is Steve Bannon's game. We get people that have been disgraced in the past, and anybody that, I guess, like Roy Moore, 2 times kicked off the court, and so maybe that makes him even more of an outsider than Luther Strange, who voted with Donald Trump like 99% of the time.
Well, it's hard for me to figure out the impact of a Steve Bannon endorsement of Michael Grimm on Staten Island. I would be willing to just guesstimate that if you walked through Staten Island today and asked 10 people who Steve Bannon was, maybe 1 or 2 might know. I mean, Steve Bannon is just not on the screen of your average citizen Staten Island, or I think any place else. He's obviously a focal point of us and a focal point of people in the news media and in Washington, D.C., but we're watching a massively overblown ego in action here in Steve Bannon.
But Caddy K, if he can get Breitbart behind these candidates, if he can get the Mercer money behind the candidates, I mean, maybe the Mercers want to put money behind judges that have been kicked off the bench twice, people that don't pay their taxes and get sent to prison. Maybe the Mercers want to fund those type of candidates, and maybe Steve Bannon can bring the money there, and suddenly he goes around and tries to paint himself as a kingmaker.
Right, and it's, you know, the badge of political purity that he manages to stamp. He did it down in Alabama, and perhaps he can do it with Grimm. I mean, I think my question starts with, why is this guy running for Congress again? I mean, after everything he said and everything he did and going to prison, go and do something else. Do we really need him back in Congress?
Well, we'll see what Staten Island voters think. And coming up, NBC's Pete Williams is going to join us with new information on the Las Vegas massacre, including what we're learning about the shooter's gun stockpile. Also, Democratic Senator Chris Coons joins us. He sits on the Foreign Relations Committee, and we're going to get his take on the Secretary of State's standing in the administration. Plus, the Washington Post's Robert Costa with his new reporting. Morning Joe coming right back. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.